If you think hell only exists in myths, then you are far too naive. On this earth, there are 25 places that are restricted zones personally marked by the Grim Reaper. Those who enter basically never expect to come out. In some places, even looking twice is a sin. Today, I will take you on a journey of no return, revealing the 25 most terrifying, forbidden lands on Earth. If you are ready, then shut your mouth. Open your eyes wide. We are heading out right now. Our first stop is Brazil. Near the coast of Sao Paulo lies a small island. It looks lush and very beautiful, but locals tremble at the mere mention of its name. This is the famous Snake Island, the only home of the golden lancehead viper. How exaggerated is the toxicity of this snake? To put it simply, with just one bite, your flesh will start to melt like ice cream. Within hours, your organs will completely fail. The most terrifying thing is the density. Experts estimate there are 10 snakes for every square meter. This means, with every step you take, there might be 10 reapers lying by your feet. If you accidentally trip, what awaits you will be hundreds of lethal injections. Thousands of years ago, rising sea levels cut this place off from the mainland. These venomous snakes were trapped on the island, with no natural predators. They became the absolute masters here. By the 1920s, the last humans guarding the lighthouse also disappeared. Now, the Brazilian Navy has blockaded the area. This is not only to save your life, but also to protect these loneliest killers in the world. Can you imagine the feeling of the ground crawling with writhing death? This isn't an island, it's a living meat grinder. Next, let's move to Tanzania to see the lake that can turn life into stone. Lake Natron. The name sounds gentle, and the photos look even more stunning. The lake water displays an eerie bright red color. From afar, it looks like a landscape on Mars. But don't be fooled by its beauty. The pH level here is absurdly high. It's as caustic as bleach. The water temperature often reaches 60 degrees Celsius. If you accidentally fall in, your skin will be scorched instantly. The strangest part is this lake has a mirror-like surface like glass. Many birds are tricked while flying and plunge straight into this lethal liquid. What awaits them is a brutal calcification process. Heat and strong alkaline water quickly drain the moisture from the corpses, leaving behind stone, like statues on the shore. Those dead birds look lifelike, as if they had been gazed upon by Medusa. For humans, this is nature's most heartless laboratory. All life appears so fragile here. If you think that's not intense enough, let's go to Turkmenistan to see the door that won't close. The Darvaza gas crater, also known as the door to hell. In the center of the desert, there is a massive burning pit, 70 meters wide. It has been burning day and night for over 50 years. This was originally a serious mistake by the Soviets. In 1971, drillers accidentally punctured a natural gas cavern and the ground collapsed. To prevent poisonous methane from spreading, geologists decided to light a fire. At the time, they thought it would go out in a few days. Who knew it would burn for half a century? The temperature inside reaches 500 degrees Celsius. Standing at the edge, you can feel the stinging pain of your skin being roasted. If you try to film it with a drone, it will likely be a one-way trip. The rising heat and magnetic interference will kill the device instantly. It is like a wound on the earth, forever spraying out flames of fury. Now, let's turn our gaze to the Aral Sea in Central Asia. A top-secret restricted zone was once hidden on Vozrozhdenia Island. It is also known as Rebirth Island. The name sounds like a holiday resort, but it was actually a testing site. The things developed here were enough to destroy all of humanity. Anthrax, smallpox, plague, every terrifying virus could be found here. In 1971, a research ship sailed too close and a person was infected. Even though vaccinated, they caught a mutant smallpox. This triggered a massive outbreak that killed 3 people. Even crazier, in 1988, a severe anthrax leak occurred. It caused 50,000 saiga antelopes to die off in a few days. Before the Soviet Union collapsed, they buried 200 tons of anthrax slurry. These things can survive in the soil for centuries. Now, Rebirth Island is connected to the mainland due to the drying sea. Locals don't even dare glance in that direction because no one knows what the wind might blow out. If you like paranormal movies, you must have heard of Centralia, Pennsylvania. The real-life prototype for Silent Hill was once a bustling mining town. with over 1,000 happy residents. But that fire, in 1962, ruined everything. The fire likely started from a landfill and ignited a massive coal seam. Since then, the fire has been burning beneath the town's feet. By the 1980s, the road surfaces began to crack, emitting billowing smoke. The temperature below the surface reached 400 degrees Celsius. If you walk on the street, the road might swallow you the next second. Now, only 5 die-hard residents still live in Centralia. The abandoned highway covered in graffiti looks like a doomsday movie. Experts say the coal underground could burn for another 200 years. You can feel the soles of your shoes getting hot when you step on it. Next, let's go to a mysterious island in the Bay of Bengal. North Sentinel Island is home to the world's most hardcore indigenous people. The Sentinelese have lived in isolation for tens of thousands of years. They have only one attitude toward modern civilization: violent rejection. Anyone who approaches will be met with a sky full of poison arrows. In 2006, 2 unlucky fishermen tried to poach some crabs and were shot dead on the spot. In 2018, an American missionary didn't believe the warnings, insisting on going up to preach. He was taken out by a hail of arrows as soon as he landed. The Indian government gave up on communicating with them long ago. It is now illegal to approach within 5 nautical miles. Even helicopters flying over will be shot with arrows. This isolation is actually saving them, as they have no immunity to modern diseases. To them, you are no different from an invading alien. Let's go to Ethiopia to see a place that doesn't look like Earth. The Danakil Depression is widely recognized as the most inhospitable region on the planet. It lies at the junction of tectonic plates, filled with scalding lava fields and stinging sulfur springs. The average annual temperature is above 35 degrees, peaking at 63 degrees in extreme moments. In this environment, even microbes would despair. The surface is covered in a thin salt crust. Beneath it could be a strong acid pond or lethal magma. If you step through, it can melt you down to the bone in an instant. The air is thick with high concentrations of hydrogen sulfide. One whiff might knock you unconscious. Everything here refuses the entry of life. It is the most primitive and violent side of the Earth. The Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia also has a similar place, the Valley of Death. This place sits at the foot of the Kikpanich volcano. While it looks picturesque, it is actually an invisible killing field. The ground constantly emits carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and cyanide. These gases form an invisible toxic cloud, moving close to the ground. When the snow melts in spring, small animals come to drink. With just one breath, they die instantly. Then foxes and hyenas come to eat the carcasses, and also perish. The bodies can last for a long time, because even bacteria can't reproduce due to lack of oxygen. Humans entering without a gas mask will fall into a deep coma within minutes, and then their heart will stop beating. You think you are breathing fresh air, but every breath is an inhalation of death. Speaking of disappearances, everyone will think of the Bermuda Triangle. This patch of ocean between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico has been the scapegoat for decades. Various rumors say there are aliens, Atlantis, or time portals here. While scientists say the disappearance rate isn't abnormally high, the environment there is indeed hardcore. Sudden storms can create 30-meter rogue waves. Powerful currents can instantly sweep away any debris. There are even eruptions of methane gas from the seabed that can make ships lose buoyancy and sink straight down. The magnetic anomalies here are real too, causing compasses to spin like fans. In the Bermuda Triangle, human experience and technology, in the face of nature's unpredictability, are sometimes no better than paper. Lake Nyos in Cameroon sounds like a peaceful mountain lake, but its nickname is the Killer Lake. Late one night in August 1986, the lake suddenly had a bizarre eruption. It didn't spray lava, but a massive cloud of carbon dioxide. Due to volcanic activity at the bottom, gas had built up for a long time. The water pressure finally gave way, and over 160,000 tons of gas burst out of the surface, rolling toward nearby villages like an avalanche. Carbon dioxide is heavier than air. It flows along the ground, instantly displacing all oxygen, leaving no chance to breathe. That night, over 1,700 people and countless livestock died in their sleep. Many remained in their sleeping positions, without even a chance to struggle. This silent death is the most terrifying. By the time you realize something is wrong, your lungs have already quit, and you're just another statistic. Australia has its nightmare too. known as Fraser Island. The scenery is top-notch, but it is actually one of the most dangerous beaches in the world. The water is full of reapers, and the venomous Irukandji jellyfish can make you wish you were dead. Great white sharks patrol the shore, while rogue currents are ready to pull you into the deep sea. The freshwater lakes on the island look clear, but the bottoms are filled with invisible sand pits. Many people jump in and break their necks. And that's not all. There are over 200 dingoes on the island, wild beasts that attack humans in packs. There are even lethal brown snakes waiting in the grass, just waiting for a mistake. In this place, beauty is just the packaging for a trap. Every footprint might hide more than one way to die. The skeleton coast of Namibia, a masterpiece created by nature in extreme anger. Portuguese sailors called it the Gates of Hell because it is perpetually shrouded in thick fog. With howling winds and towering waves, the sea surface is full of shifting sandbars. Once a ship runs aground, it is completely over and you're done for. If you are lucky enough to swim to shore, what awaits you is not rescue, but despair. The shore is an endless desert with no water, only a scorching sun and rolling waves. Many survivors slowly waited for death on this beach, leaving behind rusted shipwrecks. This is a place without mercy, and it doesn't care if you live or die. Mount Sinabung in Indonesia is another nail you can't touch. This volcano was dormant for 400 years, and everyone thought it was a quiet giant. But in 2010, it suddenly woke up, exhaling destructive lava and volcanic ash. The 2014 eruption was even worse, and the scalding pyroclastic flows took 17 lives. These flows reached temperatures of 800 degrees, faster than a sports car. You have nowhere to hide, because Mount Sinabung is like a moody tyrant, ready to erupt at any moment. That world-shattering feeling is hard to forget. Once you've experienced it, you won't want to see a volcano again for the rest of your life. There is a place in Germany called Herfa, Neurode. On the surface, it looks like a peaceful small town. But beneath the ground lies the nightmare of all humanity. This is the world's largest toxic waste repository. In a former salt mine 650 meters deep, over 3.5 million tons of lethal chemicals are buried. Arsenic, mercury, cyanide, dioxin. These names make your skin crawl. While the salt layers conceal the toxins, a single earthquake or groundwater seepage could leak these poisons into the rivers, destroying the ecosystem of all Europe. People call it Germany's secret poison chamber. It's like a gas bomb buried in the Earth's belly. We are living right on top of it. Indonesia has another wonder, Ijen volcano. It has the world's largest acidic lake. The water color is like a turquoise gem, breathtakingly beautiful. But if you really want to go for a swim, your bones will be dissolved. The acidity is no different from battery acid. If you dared to gargle with this water at night, all your teeth would be gone by morning. Even more bizarre, blue flames burn on the slopes, formed by sulfuric gases, spontaneously igniting in high temperatures. This is also the world's most dangerous workplace. Local miners dig for sulfur in this toxic gas. Many have nothing more than wet rags for protection. Their lungs will fail after a few years of labor. Each piece of yellow mineral is stained with their blood. If you want to see that blue light, please wear a gas mask first. Mailu in Kyrgyzstan is a relic of the Soviet nuclear program. Once a top-secret processing center, now the city is surrounded by 23 massive piles of nuclear waste. The air is full of radon gas, and the soil is full of heavy metals. Cancer and birth defect rates are staggering here. Worse, the geography is unstable with frequent earthquakes and landslides. A dam collapse in 1958 sent radioactive sludge directly into the downstream basin, poisoning millions across the region. The people here live in a slow and painful torture. This is a massive human laboratory. The sense of despair is more real than any horror movie. Matadi National Park in Bolivia sounds like an explorer's paradise, but it is actually a killing field for plants and animals. Not only are there jaguars and venomous snakes, but countless parasites. There is a type of fly larva that can crawl into your flesh through a tiny wound and grow. You can even feel it moving under your skin. Most plants here are toxic, and the air is full of lethal spores and viruses. Entering this jungle, you not only fight nature, but the darkest side of humanity. Because there are also drug traffickers and illegal loggers. People without protagonist armor basically don't survive the first night. The giant crystal cave in Mexico is the most beautiful and lethal nursery in the world. 300 meters underground, it is filled with massive selenite crystals. Some, as long as 13 meters, weighing over 50 tons. But don't let these shiny things dazzle you. The temperature inside is nearly 60 degrees with 100% humidity. Without protection, you will collapse from heat stroke in mere minutes. Your lungs will start to fill with water, feeling like you are drowning. Scientists can only stay inside for half an hour, even in cooling suits. The cave has been flooded again to prevent humans from finding their own deaths. This extreme beauty belongs only to nature. If you seek extreme heat, you must mention Death Valley in the USA. This place, straddling California and Nevada, is the hottest and driest region. The record temperature of 57 degrees can instantly dry you out. If you don't bring enough water, you will die of organ dehydration in hours. The salt flats will burn through your shoe soles while rattlesnakes wait. This is an absolute purgatory, where the Grim Reaper runs faster than you. Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands was once a perfect paradise. 23 nuclear tests turned it into a permanent radioactive wasteland. The 1954 Castle Bravo test was 1,000 times more powerful than Hiroshima. The dust from the explosion fell like snow, poisoning all the residents nearby. Even today, the seabed is full of sunken and radioactive warships. The food on the island is highly toxic. One bite could shorten your life. The residents are still fighting to return. But this land is not for humans. Bolivia also has a road of death, known as the North Yungas Road. This mountain road is only 3 meters wide with no guardrails in between. Hundreds of people fall off the cliffs every year into the abyss. The road surface is clay, slippery as oil during the rainy season. When buses turn, half a wheel might be hanging over the precipice. Many thrill-seeking cyclists still want to challenge it, paying the ultimate price. Your life is truly not in your own hands here. Ozarsk in Russia, also known as the Nuclear City, vanished from maps for decades. A secret base for nuclear weapons where residents lived with constant radiation. The 1957 Mayak accident had a leak scale second only to Chernobyl. Locals continued to live in contaminated rivers because the truth was kept secret. Lake Karachay is so toxic that standing on the shore is a death sentence. Ozarsk remains a restricted zone, a great power asset built on human lives. Under those towering chimneys, the futures of countless people are buried. Mount Erebus in Antarctica is the southernmost active volcano on Earth. In a world of ice and snow, there is a massive lake of lava. It is kept at 1,700 degrees. This is the peak of magical realism, where the summit constantly emits toxic gas, forming eerie ice caves. If you accidentally fall in, you freeze or suffocate. This extreme environment is only challenged by a few scientists. It is a true no-man's land. Standing at the crater, you see the fire of the Earth's core, surrounded by -50-degree winds. This is the prologue to the end of the world. The boiling lake of Dominica, nature's pot of hot soup. Due to geothermal activity, the entire lake surface is bubbling. The temperature stays above 90 degrees. The air is thick with stinging sulfur smoke. If you want to get closer, the heat waves might scald your skin. The path there is called the Valley of Desolation. 2 guys in 1900 were knocked out by a sudden release of gas and fell into the lake to be cooked. This place tells us something. Some water is not just undrinkable, you shouldn't even touch it. Finally, let's visit Oymyakon in eastern Siberia. The extreme cold of -70 degrees can freeze your eyelashes together instantly. If you blink too slowly, your eyes won't open. With every breath, your lungs sting like they're being stabbed by needles. Because the ground is frozen like iron, people can't even install running water. If your car stalls, it is basically a death sentence. Because at that temperature, metal and plastic become as brittle as crackers. In Oymyakon, life is not about living, but about enduring. This extreme cold can shatter a person's will. After seeing these 25 hellish zones, what are your thoughts? Don't you feel that being able to sit peacefully at home is a luxury? This earth has many sides, and not all are filled with birds and flowers. Some places never intended to leave a spot for humans. From the beginning, if you had to choose one place to challenge, which one would you choose? Tell me your answer loudly in the comments. I want to see who is courageous. If you like these deep dives into the world's forbidden lands, follow me. Your support is my greatest motivation. I am the one who shows you the world. In the next episode, I will take you to explore secrets buried in the ocean. See you next time. Don't miss it.